Take a look at a Dodge here. It's got a bunch of electrical problems. I'm not getting any blower motor out of the truck. Also, between off and the first 3 levels, the HVAC module isn't seeing a change in position of the switch. So there's a problem, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem with not having a blower motor. The truck does not have functioning wipers. The pump works though for the washer sprayer. And then I have no reverse lights. 7-way plug has intermittent problems. It's got a voltage draw when you let it sit. The instrument cluster lights don't work in it. And oil pressure gauge intermittently works. All the lighting issues, I'm pretty sure is going to be the front control module. They're a common failure on 3rd gen Rams. I'm just going to do a little bit of looking into the other stuff. I don't remember what else is ran through it because it does control a lot of different stuff. So before I dig too deep into it, I'm going to go look at the wiring diagram and see what all is included inside of that module. So I know that our lighting issue is most likely control module behind the fuse block. It's a really common problem on these Dodges. So I'm looking at my problem now that I've got with my windshield wipers not working. So sit and look at the wiring diagram here. Hot at all times. These are my 2 relays. This one is the high-low relay. This is the on-off. But if you look here, they are both grounded by the front control module. So that is what controls those. So after all the lighting issues we're having out of that, which is usually what they do, I'm really suspect of that module being failed just by the sheer number of problems we have, all relating back to systems that are controlled through that module. So I think we have a test one over in the box. I'm gonna go grab it, try to throw it on the truck and see if that fixes all my lighting problems, and if that gets the not the HVAC problem, the wiper problem fixed. HVAC problem I had pulled up here too. It's reading a bunch of weird stuff when I try to control it. I'm not getting any fan movement out of it, so that one I'm just gonna have to hop under the dash, start unplugging a couple things and checking for powers and grounds real quick. Another thing we see is the lamp out indicator is flashing. We actually have an oil pressure gauge right now. Oh, wait, there it goes. It's gonna go. Yep. So, we have a circuit issue there too. Just consulting real quick before I dig into the oil pressure issue, or the perceived issue that's most likely a wiring problem. Just 1 wire oil pressure switch right off the PCM. So circuit GL60, it's a gray wire with a yellow trace. It's going to be at pin 12. That's not going to be too hard to do. We'll go take a look at that real quick and see if we can find an issue in that circuit. Well, got the diagnosis pretty much done on this Cummins here. So all of our lighting problems are back to the front control module, which is mounted on the inside right here of the fuse block. The oil pressure issue, wiring was good. Having resistance issues on the sending unit itself, so we're going to throw a sending unit in it. And then all of our HVAC issues from all the testing we've done are pointing right back to the control head, which is the HVAC module in the dash. So, call the customer, get approval, get this thing back together and get it back to them. Doing some valve cover gaskets on a 5.3 and a Silverado. This is the same customer that brought the Acadia to us for timing chains and phasers. So if you guys have never done these before, a lot of people make the mistake of taking all the coils off and unplugging them. The entire bank is a pack. So take your plug wires off at each coil, disconnect the connector here, which will do this entire harness, and then everywhere you see here, there's a 10mm bolt. It's actually like a stud. We take those off. This all comes off in one piece. It makes it pretty quick and easy to get down to the valve cover. Now there are just the bolts in the center, and then there's that little PCV line in the back. But That'll save you some time if you've never done one before. Like I said, a lot of people try to disassemble them farther than they have to. Just to get to that point, I'm not even 5 minutes into this job. So just little things like that you need to watch out for and try to save yourself some time. So this is a perfect example of why regular maintenance pays off. This truck has over 200,000 miles on it. And this is the original owner. He's never had any major engine work done to it. That engine is cleaner than some engines I've torn apart with 5,000 miles on it. Just regular maintenance really pays off. Just got the valve covers back on this truck. Right as it started to have some weather rolling, we have some thunder and stuff. So this one's done today. We also went and put a set of injectors this morning in Dad's bus. The original ordered set showed up. So now we have all N71s in the motor. And then we diagnosed a 6-liter today. I didn't record when we were out doing that one. The customer had it diagnosed at another shop. They said it needed a turbo. So a friend and him went ahead and put the turbo on. And they said it's had problems since. Pretty much the same problem, so they thought it was misdiagnosed. So I went out there, I took a look at it. The turbo was making some pretty weird noises. Took it on a test drive, and you could hear the turbo locking up as we were driving. I got back, I checked for shaft play in the turbo, and there's a good 1/8 inch or more of shaft play in it, and the wheel's destroyed. So the customer is going to go ahead and get the turbo warranted. I told him I was at it to order a new oil supply line and seal kit for it, for the drain tube and all. And next week I'll be out there to install it for him. So we'll do a video then of how to put a turbo on a 6-liter. I also have some footage, it was yesterday I believe, when I was out at Chris's doing some diagnosis on a Dodge with a bunch of electrical issues. I really wasn't sure how much to record there. I don't know how much in-depth you guys want me to go into electrical. For over a year I was a lead electrical tech at a dealership before I went to their diesel department. So if anyone wants to learn electrical stuff, I can definitely do like a technician basic series on electrical diagnosis and stuff like that. Or if you guys don't care about electrical work, I know most people are intimidated by it or don't like messing with it. And if you don't know what you're looking at, it can get pretty complicated. But I should be able to dumb it down, well, not dumb it down, but simplify it to the point where anybody with any level of experience can understand how to work it. But that's up to you guys, just let me know. Should also have some transmission content in the next week or so here. Somebody had messaged me, actually left a comment on one of the videos that they had transmission problems. So I can go take a look at that one for you guys. Should be a mechanical automatic transmission, so a pretty simple one to tear down and rebuild. That's about all I got right now. I really don't remember what I've got scheduled for the rest of next week. We do have the flatbed swap coming for the shop truck, so the shop truck will be getting a flatbed put on it hopefully next week. It was a free flatbed, so it's not pretty. It needs some work, but I mean, so does our cheap shop truck. But that'll be coming up soon. Well, damn, that was a little bigger than I was expecting. But yeah, looks like we finished just in time. Those are clean gutters, by the way. I just cleaned them out, so it's coming down pretty good.